Hello guys, I'm Miss Ardea. I'm going to teach you Lectra this semester. So I'm going to prepare a video so that need to only explain to you guys one time for the introduction of Lectra because this semester I have two classes. So I'm going to use this video to introduce Lectra for my morning and afternoon classes. Okay, um, I'm going to share my screen. And I expect you guys to also bring the production book. We're using the production book throughout this semester. Okay, please wait a moment. So this is our topic. Okay, I'm preparing the week first. Let me introduce what is Lectra. So Lectra is the tool to help us um, easier to make pattern and also to produce in a huge quantity. So maybe currently we are not using Lectra in our home industry, but in the big industries like Uniqlo, Zara, and other retails, they use Lectra or similar tools like Lectra with the same purpose to make the productions of pattern faster. And in LaSalle, we're using Moderis, and Diamino. So this Moderis actually is for the pattern package, and for Diamino is for marker. I'm going to show you later what is marker. All right. So in half of our semester, we're using Moderis only. So we learn a lot on Moderis, and half of the rest of the semester, we're using both Moderis and Diamino. So we're using both software throughout the end of the course. Okay, so why are we using it? So we use Lectra in order to make our production time faster. So we can finish making the pattern in a short amount of time. Okay, for example, let's say you want to make M size or S size only, you only make one pattern, but in Lectra, you're not only making one pattern, one size of the pattern, but we can make all sizes pattern. So from starting from XS size, for example, until the XXL size in a very short time. Okay, so in a way, this will help the company to lessen the production time. Okay, and I have mentioned the topic covered in Lectra. So for the first half, we're using only Moderis. And then for the second half, we're using both Moderis and Diamino. Okay, we're using this two software throughout this term. Oh, sorry, Moderis throughout this term and Diamino for the half of the term near the end. Okay, so that's why I have this Moderis in green highlighted. Yeah, because we're going to learn Moderis today. Okay, and then what else? The last of the introductions is I want to introduce you about the exams in our class. So in Lectra exams, I have 4 exams. So we have pre-mid, and then mid, and then pre-final, and final. Oops. Okay, so here I have divided pre-mid 20%, mid 30%, pre-final 20%, and final 30%. Okay, so in this class, you got 100% from the exams. Okay, so I hope you can uh, learn a lot on this course. You can learn new things besides doing the manual pattern making or pattern drafting. But we also can use the digital pattern drafting software. Okay, and again, we are using Lectra here in LaSalle College. So if you, let's say, have graduated from our campus and you want to work as the pattern maker or someone using the computer-aided design program, and you can also apply for that position. So if you have learned Lectra, I believe you can also use other similar software because more or less the purpose is the same. You just need to adjust yourself with different software. The concept is basically the same. All right. And then next is we're going to practice using Lectra software. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it. But before that, first you have to make Lectra folder. This one. Okay, you have to make your own Lectra folder. So you can go to Documents, and then in the Documents, you can make your own folder. You can right-click and then create new folder. Okay, and then name your folder with your name dash or underscore or whatever Lectra. Your name dash Lectra. Let's say my name is Ardea, then my folder should be Ardea dash Lectra. So the first thing that you need to prepare is you need to make your own folder. I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, let's go to Documents here. In my case, I only have one data here. I didn't separate the disk, but in your case, you have maybe more than one disk. Okay, you have C and D. In my case, I only have the C. So in this, let's say here, I will do right click and then I go to new, here new, and then I will go to folder. Or at the top, you can also find new folder. So we're using Windows. So if you're using Mac, it has a little bit of different menu. You can check again. You need to adjust with how Windows work. So I will just right click new and then I will create the folder. And in this new folder, just write your name dash Lectra, like what I did, and then enter. So now you have this folder, and later on you need to put everything related to Lectra assignments in this folder. Okay, and then you can double click to get into your folder. Here, the folder is empty currently. So next step is here. Next step, after you make your Lectra folder, you have to make size range. So the second step after you make your own folder is making the size range. Okay, we have two types of size range, which is numeric and alpha. The alpha is from alphabetic. Numeric is the number. Alpha is for the letters. So some sizes usually consist of numbers. For example, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, let's say. So these are numeric sizes. And then, let's say, for other size range might be consist of only letters. XS, SML, XL. So these are alpha sizes. So we have to determine which one we want to use. Later on, we can change between these two sizes. And let's say, how about if we have a combination of numeric and alpha size? For example, like undergarment for women, for example, the bra size. Here we have 70B, 75B, 80B. Or let's say here 32B, 34B. Okay, and so on and so forth. So it's a combination of numeric and alpha. So where does this belong? So this combination size belongs to alpha. Okay, the combination or the mix size with both numeric and alpha, they belong to alpha. So only number, solely only number, this is the one that belongs to numeric. Oops, sorry. Okay. So only numbers belongs to numeric size range. Okay, alphabetic, both only letters and combinations of letters and numeric and numbers. Okay, so first we have to make the size range. I will show you how to make the size range, so please take notes. First, you need to go to Notepad. This is the Notepad. How to find Notepad? You can just go to the Windows search bar and then you can type Notepad. You can click on Notepad. So this is where we're going to write our size range. Okay, please pay attention. So we will start with the numeric size range. Okay, the numeric, the number. So we have to type numeric. Remember, numeric here, all small letter, all small caps. Okay, small caps, no big caps. Okay, all small letters, numeric. And then enter. Then if we want to, let's say we have 5 sizes. I'm going to just demonstrate this first. Let's say we have 5 sizes. All right. So from these 5 sizes, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, in numeric size range case, we don't have to write them all. First, if we have numeric size range, we need to check the size gaps between each size. For example, from size 6 to size 8, size 8 to size 10, size 12 to size 14, there is a size gap. Okay, you can maybe think about that. You can maybe notice that the size gap is 2. So from size 6 to size 8, there is 2 size gap. Okay, so then we can just keep the smallest size and then space bar. Okay, we have one space bar, and then the gap. 2 is the size gap. So 6 is the smallest size, space bar, and then 2. And then next, we need to find the standard size. What is the standard size? So standard size is usually a size that we will use it for grading purpose. Usually it's the middle size. In this case, if we have 5 sizes, we have 6 through 14. So usually the middle size is the standard size, which is size 10. However, if you have only 4 sizes, how can we determine which one is the standard size? If you don't have to worry about the quantity, let's say you can just choose size 8 or size 10. Let's say you don't have to think about the quantity, you can choose each of this size is okay. However, if in the production, I will just erase 2 first, I will just rewrite it again later. So let's say size 8 has 100 pieces order, and then size 10 has about 50 pieces order. So the number of quantity differs. So if we have cases like this, okay, you can see size 8 has more orders than size 10. So in this case, the standard size should be size 8. But if it's the opposite, let's say size 10 has more order than size 8, like this condition. So in this case, size 10 is the standard size. So that's how to determine the standard size if you have only 4 sizes or even number of sizes where you cannot see or where you cannot determine the middle size. Okay, and then let's go back to our original size. We have 6, space bar, and 2. And then what happened to the standard size? So the standard size, we have to put the asterisk or the star in front of the number. Star, and then the standard size. All right, so this is not finished yet. So in numeric size, first you have to determine the smallest size, space bar, and then the gap size. And then you have to determine the standard size. And then the last thing that you have to determine is the largest size. So other sizes that is not needed, you can just delete it because it will automatically proceed in the Modaris. Okay, so you don't have to write 8, you don't have to write 12 here because this function will automatically add size number 8 and size number 12 because of the gap size. So let's say you have the biggest size is size 16, and then you have size 10 as the standard. So in between this 10 and 16 size, there will be size 12 and size 14 later on will appear on the Modaris software. So what you need to do is to determine which category this size range is. Let's say this is numeric, and then the smallest size, space bar, and then the gap size, and then star, and then the standard size, and then the largest size. I'm going to change this to 14. So this is the finished function of our numeric size range, and then we have to save it, save, and then choose your folder and save it with numeric name, and then save it. This is numeric. And then next, we want to also make size range for the alpha size. We can make a new one and then do the same alpha, all small letters, no big caps, no big letters. And then let's start with the smallest size the until the biggest size. And in this case, for alpha, only alpha function, this one, the top row, that you need to make it in all small letters. Okay, other rows, for the size rows, you can actually make a combinations, or you can make this in big caps. You can make it XS in big caps, S, M, let's say this is L, this is XL. You can make it like this. But if you prefer, let's say, a combination XS, S, M, L, XL, let's say this one is L, this is also okay too. But if you prefer all small letters, XS, S, M, L, XL, this is okay too. So whichever you prefer, this is okay. So I'm going to use the big caps, XS, S, M, L, XL. Remember, for the alpha function, only the alpha on the top rows, this one, only the alpha on the top row that needs to be in all small letters. Other rows mentioning all the size range, you can use all big caps combinations or all small caps, doesn't matter. Okay, so next step, again, first you need to make sure you have the smallest size. In this case is XS. And then next step is you find the standard size. I'm going to use the M as the standard size. And then don't forget the largest size, XL. But in the alpha size case, you need to see it first, XS through S, M, L through XL. Can you see any gap size? So for this alpha size, you cannot put gap size because there is no gap size in alpha size. So if you want to use alpha size, you need to write all the sizes, starting from the smallest size until the biggest size. And don't forget to put the star in front of the standard size. Okay? And then I will also save this and write it with alpha. And then save it. All right, so we have finished with making our size range. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. All right, we have finished making the size range, finishing the numeric and alpha size range. And then the third part is I will introduce you to Lectra user interface. All right, so this is where I will have to open the Lectra software. But before that, you need to check, oh, sorry. Yeah, with the computer. So your computer needs to have this blue key. I put two blue keys. One is for Moderis and then the other is Diamino. In your computer must have two blue keys as well. Okay, so without the blue keys, you cannot open Moderis or Diamino. So these two keys is the dongle to open your software. And Lectra is a subscription software, so you need to pay every year annually, and it's quite expensive. But if you need this pattern making software to help you make the pattern faster, this is very worth it. It differs, I guess, for every kind of pattern making software. Lectra cost about, if I'm not mistaken, is about 52 million. Yeah, 52 million rupiah per year. But I forgot the exact price. It's around that price. And it's only the subscription. At the beginning, you need to also buy the dongle, the blue key I mentioned. One key costs about 900 US dollar. So if you use both Moderis and Diamino, two keys, that means you need to prepare about 1,800 US dollars. Okay, it's quite costly, but if you work in a retail where you need to make thousands of patterns, let's say a month, this software will be very helpful. Okay, so before we start, before I introduce to the user interface of our Lectra software, you need to also prepare the production book. We're using the production book throughout this semester. And I'm going to also use this book along to introduce the skirt block, yeah, how to make the skirt block using Moderi software. We're using Moderi software first. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so you can see on your computer, we have two software that you can use for our lecture class. The first one is Moderis. So this Moderis is to make the pattern package. And the second one is Diamino. So this Diamino is to make marker. Oh, I promise you, I will show the marker, um, what is the marker in the fashion industry. I'm going to show you here. This one. Okay, pattern, marker, fashion. So this is what marker is. You can see this is what Diamino can do. So it can help to make and arrange the pattern. In the retail, it's very, very important because you can determine how many meters you need to buy the fabric. You can calculate exactly the quantity of the fabric you need to order if you use this software. So you don't over purchase your fabric, or you also don't buy less fabric or not enough fabric for your production. You buy the fabric just enough, the quantity according to what you want to produce. Okay, so this is marker and this is Lectra. It will look like this. Okay, we're making all the pattern pieces. Okay, so first, I will introduce you to Moderis. Okay, you can open this first. Okay, just double click on the software and it will open. If it's not open, please go to IT department in the fourth floor and then you can ask for Sir Dwi or Sir Comex for help. Okay, I will just write it here. Number 2, if the software is not working, go to fourth floor, ask for help from Sir Dwi or Sir Coming from the IT department. Okay? Remember, if the software is not working or something happens with your computer, you go to fourth floor and ask for help from Sir Dwi or Sir Komeng from the IT department. All right, let's continue. So this is Lectra software. Okay, so here, this is my initial user interface. However, the default for every computer might be different. Sometimes it will look like this. If your computer has this look, don't worry. You can just change this. This is actually the icons, okay? For people who prefer the visual, they might prefer this user interface, but I cannot really understand if using icons, so I prefer text over the icons. All right, so if your computer in the Lectra has this menu, please change it first to text. Okay, how to change it? You can go to config on top menu and then go to icon or text. Okay, or you can just reverse it, change it to this. Yeah, however, in my opinion, I think text is easier, so please use the text from now on. Okay, at least during my explanation on this course. Okay, so here you can see there are menu from F1 through F8. And this is, you can also use the shortcut from your keyboard. Your keyboard, you can see your keyboard. You have F1 to F12 actually in your keyboard. Okay, but we're using the menu until F8. We're using F9 and F12 for other function. I will explain to you later. So you can see F1 is for points and lines, F2 is for notches, orientation tools, F3 for modification, F4 for industrialization piece, and then F5 for derive piece, full CAM, and then F6 is for grading, F7 for evolution system, nest modification, and then F8 is for measure, assembly, and variance. You don't have to memorize this. You can just take notes, whatever tools that you think is needed is important, and we're using it a lot. All right, so before we start, please open your skirt block, page 2 in your production book. I have it here, plan of the skirt block. It is on page 2 of your production book. So today I'm going to show you how to make the skirt block. Okay, we're starting exactly each step. We will follow this book. I'm not going to change all the measurements. I'm just going to follow because the objective of this course is to introduce you to the tools to Lectra software so you can use it. If you want to modify the pattern later, you can modify the pattern by yourself. Okay, so we're using this book, but before that, we have to make the file first. Okay, let's start. We go to File, and then we click New. And then here, we write skirt block, and then Enter. There will be cover. This is the cover. Okay, and then the second step is we need to save it. Before we do anything else, we have to activate the autosave from Modaris program. Why we need to do this? Because in Modaris, we have the autosave option, and it's very helpful in case there are some things happen, like problems happen, for example, power outage, or there was a case where uh, there's, for example, earthquake or uh, fire alarms ringing. So in such cases happen, at least you have your files saved. Even though the autosave is not current, it's not the most recent, at least it has 3 steps before your most recent updates. Okay, it's just maybe 3 steps behind. So that's okay. Okay, that's still okay. So we have to activate the autosave. Okay, autosave. First, you go to File, and then you need to set the saving location in access path first. You go to access path, and then here you have to make sure the location is on your folder. So my folder is in the document downloads here. Your folder is in, let's say, D, documents. My folder is in download are the Lectra here. This is my folder. So you can just click your folder and then OK. Now it's changed. And then not only this one, but you need to change all of these locations. But you don't have to do it one by one. You can just do it one time. At the same time here, you can just click the exclamation point here, exclamation point 1, and then exclamation point 2 here, and everything's changed in 2 simple clicks. However, in some cases, there are locations that are not changed automatically in these sections and in these sections, in the middle sections and the bottom sections. So in that case, you can also click the exclamation point at here in the middle and also the exclamation point here at the bottom. Okay, so make sure all the locations are the same. And then you click OK. And then it's not finished yet. So after you set the location, you can click File and then click Save. So this will make autosave works. However, if you want to update your saving process, you can always click File and Save anytime you want. File, save, file, save. Okay, it's important. Okay, now I want to continue with the skirt block. Yeah, with the skirt block. Next step is you need to turn on the title block. So the title block will put all the informations on this pattern. All right, so we will show the title block. The title block is on display. Here, sorry. Okay, please wait. Okay, so go to display here, and then you go to title block here. Okay, click display and then click title block. Okay, there is this information. And title block will also show the size. However, we haven't put any size. Our next step is to put the size range. Okay, we have make our numeric size range and also alpha size range. We can go to F7. F7 is evolution system. In Modaris, evolution means size. So we can go to F7 or you can use your keyboard to press F7. F7 here, this is F7. And then we can go to IMP EVT. IMP EVT. You click IMP EVT and now it's activated. So you click on the cover here, click on the cover here, and then you can see, I will find my folder first. You need to find your folder first, and then you can see the two files that you can use for your size. In some cases, you cannot see these two files. Let's say you can only see this. Where's the size? Where's the numeric? Where's the alpha size? Okay, because in some computers, the default is not showing the text, not showing the notepad files. If such things happen with your computer, what you need to do is you need to change the extension. Usually it will only show models. Initially, it will show you model, but if you want to see your numeric size, your alpha size, you need to go to all or text. I'm just going to choose all here. So you can also see the models that you currently have and also the size range. Okay, we're using numeric first. Okay, you can choose numeric and then you can click open. Now it will show you the size range here. Size 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. So all 5 sizes. Okay, and you can see they have different colors per size, which will be very helpful if you want to make the grading. And we will make the grading, but later in our next half. Yeah, it's very, very long. Still maybe in the week uh, 8 or 9, okay, after our mid-exam. All right, so this is the size range. And then you see EVT is still activated. So if this still activated, whenever you click, wherever you click, it will keep on asking which size you want to include. So let's say I change it from numeric to alpha, and then I open it, and it will change to alpha. And again, if it's still activated, it will keep on asking you. I will change again to numeric. It's easy. It's easy to change the size. So what happened? You don't want to be always change the size. You need to work on something. So how to turn this off? To turn all the function off, you can just click selection on the top here, or you can use the small caps S, okay, to make all the function turn off. So now it's turned off. So now I can click anywhere without worry. Okay, I'm clicking everywhere here without worry. Okay. Now, before we start making the skirt block, we need to also change the parameters. What is parameters? So parameters is the type of the measurement that we will use. Is it in centimeters, millimeters, or even inch? So in some countries, they prefer to use inch. For example, in the United States, or in the Japanese or in the Asian regions, they use centimeters or even millimeters. So we can change the measuring types in the parameters. You can click the parameters, and then you can go to length unit. Remember, do not click yet. Do not click anything. If you click, it will just close. So click parameters, just bring your cursor to length unit, and then you just need to bring it to the right, move a little bit to the right, and then you choose first which of these sizes you want to use. Okay, in our book, we use centimeters, so choose centimeters and then click. Okay, in some cases, the default system of your motors might be in millimeters or in inch. So in order to make our steps the same, please change it to centimeters. All right, we will start very soon. So we're not making our pattern in this sheet. We will open a new worksheet. Okay, how to open a new worksheet? We have to open a new worksheet here from the sheet menu on top. And then you can choose new sheet here. Click new sheet. All right, now we have two worksheets open, the cover and the working new sheets, our worksheets. So now we can have the keyboard function. I want to show you some functions, the shortcut using the keyboards. Here I'm going to press J. Okay? Pressing J is to show all the worksheets. If you have 20 worksheets, pressing J will show you all the worksheets. J from the keyboard, like J Jakarta, J, you press J from the keyboard to show all the worksheets. Now, since we only have two worksheets, pressing J will only show you two worksheets. And then, how about if we want to focus on this worksheet? I only want to use the empty worksheet because I want to make the pattern here. All right, so you can use home button. You know, home button. It's also in your keyboard, home. It's on top of the this one. You can go to here, keyboard, computer. This one is the home button. This is the home button. Okay, you can click, you can press home button. You can click here first, click on the worksheet, and then you press home button to make sure it is the worksheet you want to work on. But you can also change your worksheet by pressing page up or page down. Okay, page up or page down. Up, down, up, down. Using the page up or page down here. Page up, page down. All right? Okay. And now we will start with our material. I will go to the PDF here. We will use T1 L1 here. We will make the center back length 60 centimeters. Okay. Oh, before we start, I will also show you that Lectra really use axis. Refer to the axis. Do you know axis? For example, this and this. Okay. So we have here x-axis and y-axis. This way is the x positive. This way, oops, is the y positive. This way is the x negative. And this way is the y negative. So please pay attention to the positive and negative values as well, because it matters. But don't worry, this software will also tell you. So if you put the value inaccurately, you can just always revise it. No worries. So let's start with making the T1 L1 center back length. What is T1 L1? So you can see here T1 L1. So center back. Okay, so start with F1. In F1, we can make points or lines. And in T1 L1 case, it is a line and it is straight. So I'm using straight here, straight function, to make the line. Click the straight, activate it, and then you click one time, just one time, and wait a little bit until there is a pop-up. Okay, in this pop-up, you see there is dx, dy, and dl. So dx is for x-axis value, dy is for y-axis value, dl is for just length. So we're using T1 L1, which is the vertical value. So here we can see, I will show you our axis. If we want to make it vertical, then we have to fill dy value. If we want to make the horizontal, then we have to make it in x-axis, or we have to fill in the x value. Now we want to fill the dy because we want to make the vertical axis. So how to fill this pop-up? No, you cannot just click. Do not click. I will show you how to change the value in this pop-up. Do not click. You can use the here arrow function. I will just show you arrow function here. Press downward arrow. This one, you need to press downward arrow. Okay, I will use the downwards arrow. Okay, I'm pressing downwards arrow. See, now the dx is ready to be filled. I don't want to put any value on dx. I'm going to put 0. And then for dy, it's the same thing. You press downwards arrow. Okay, you press downwards arrow too. Here, dy 60. And then enter. Okay, now I have put the T1 L1 line. And then it's not fully visible. What do I do? You already know what to do. You can press home. I will press home. Okay, to show all the lines, to show the full lines here. This is T1, this is L1. Now you can press, now you can put the check mark here on the first T1 L1. Let's say, or you can just put whatever. Let's say this one, finish. Let's say. And then how about T1 H1? So here, T1 H1. So T1 H1 is not a line. H1 is a point. You cannot put two lines overlapping one another. So in this case, H1 should be positioned around here. Now I want to introduce you to another function. You can press Enter here to make a zoom on the parts that you want to zoom. I will press Enter here. Now the cursor is changed to magnifying glass. I will make a zoom here around this part. Zoom. Okay. If you want to turn the zoom function, you can just click Selection. And then in this part, I want to make the point. I don't want to make another line because the line will just be overlapping and it's not acceptable in Moderis. Now I want to develop a point, the H1 point. Okay, we're using developed. We don't use add point. No, we use develop point. And I'm using the T1 as my base point. Okay, so the T1, I will click T1, and then you see the cursor going downwards. And then you see here the value is negative because going downwards is negative. You can always go back to our axis. Going downwards is Y negative. So in this case, it is also negative. Okay, so how about the value? You see here, value is 21 centimeter. Okay, so we fill 21. How to fill it again? You need to press the downwards arrow, pressing the downwards arrow and then minus. Don't forget the minus 21 and then enter. So this is the H1 point. All right, and then let's move on to another part. So here we also finish this one, T1, H1. And then the next step is H1, H2. The length is 23.25. So in this part, the H1 point, we go to straight again. And then you click on the point, and then you can bring it to the right. And then you see now the pop-up. Again, you press downward arrow and then fill the value 23.25 and then downwards arrow again and then dy you fill it with 0 and then enter. You don't have to worry about the DL because we don't use DL here, not yet. We only use the dx and dy mostly. So after you fill the x and dy value, you can just press enter. Here I use the dx positive value because my line goes to the right. Okay, enter. Now I have this line, H1 to H2. Okay, let's go back to our book. H1 to H2, finish. This one, finish. And then we have the next one, L1 to L2. Same measurement as H1, H2. And then you can see here, you can also make the same manner here. You can use straight and then use the dx. You can fill in the dx value. But I want to teach you another function. Okay, now I'm going to use selection first, and I'm going to zoom in on this part. So now I'm going to introduce you to parallel. So parallel is a function to copy the line parallel. For example, I want to copy this H1, H2 line to L1 and L2 point. So from this to this. You can use parallel function. Or if you want, you can also copy make it the same of this line T1 L1 to T2 L2 to this side. You can also do it the same way using parallel. So how does it work? First, remember this T1 L1 has 60 centimeter length. 60 centimeter length. And then this H1 is 21 centimeter. So if we want to copy to make a parallel line from this line from H1 to H2, I will just click it, click, okay, and there is a pop-up. If it goes downwards, it's negative. So the calculation is just the remaining of this line. So you already have 21 centimeters. So the remaining from this point to the L1 point is 39, around 39. Okay, not around, it's exactly 39 centimeter. So pressing downwards arrow and then minus 39 and then enter. Now you have the parallel line here. You can also do the same for the T1L1. I will just do the same and then click here. Okay. And then see, it's supposed to be positive to the right, but why it's negative? Why? Because there are already so many lines on the right. So if we go here, it's considered negative from the axis point of view. So you don't have to worry if you mistakenly put positive and suddenly it appears here. You can just change it to negative following the Lectra uh, uh, value. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, let's say I don't want that because why I don't want to copy? Because it's not the same measurements. So it's supposed to be 62 instead of 60. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new line, straight line. Let's say from this point here, I'm going to make dx 0 and then dy 62 and then enter. So that's how you use straight and parallel for this shape. Okay, but now I'm going to keep on introducing you guys to the function only. I'm not going to finish this skirt block for you. You're going to finish your skirt block yourself, but I'm going to introduce several tools that can help you to finish your skirt block. Okay, let me check our PowerPoint. So we have finished the line, develop point, fill in the dx, dy, and then, okay, undo, deletion, using spacebar, etc. So I'm going to undo. Let's say you made a mistake. Some of you might suddenly make many lines accidentally. And what do? You can just use Control Z to undo your mistake. But be careful. If you undo too much, everything you did can be erased. Okay, be careful. Don't press Control Z too much. If you're worried, you can just click File and Save. And then if this pop-up appears, you can just click Continue. Okay, so in my folder, my current folder, the process of making the skirt block is saved until this stage. Okay, and then let's continue. So I'm going to introduce you to deletion. Let's say you want to delete something. I will just show you. If I make a line like this, if you want to delete this, you don't want to undo this, okay? Deletion is on F3. So you need to go to F3 and then you click deletion. This is the deletion. And then this is a line. So you need to delete the line. You cannot delete the point. This is the line. So you need to click deletion, activate deletion, and then click on the line that you want to delete. And then if you see the points after you delete the lines, then you can delete the points afterward. Okay, so that's how you use deletion. Okay, if you mistakenly put something, you can just delete it using F3 deletion, delete the lines, and delete the points afterwards. Okay, so that's deletion. Undo, finish, deletion, finished. And then I want to show you how to make Bezier line. What is Bezier? So in some parts, you need to make a curve lines. So Bezier here to make the curve lines. But at the beginning, it will show you straight line first. But the Bezier is the line that you can curve. Make it curve. Use Bezier line. So I'm going to click the T1, let's say. And if you use Bezier, if you use the Bezier line, if this point is your last destination, let's say this is your last point that you want to connect to this point exactly, in your last point destination, you can right click. Then your Bezier will stop. I will undo this. If you don't right click, what would happen? So if you just keep on clicking using your left click, the Bezier will continue until you right click. Okay, so please pay attention. If you want to stop, let's say here, you right click here. Or if you want to stop here, you right click here. Okay, so this line is the line that you can curve. We will make a modification on this. First, I'm going to zoom in so you can see it clearly. So in order to make this Bezier line curve, you need to go to F3. And you need to go to display on the menu on top. Okay, here, display. And then you open the handles. Okay, without opening the handles, we cannot make it curve. So make sure to open the handles. The handles will be on the each side, near the end of the point, on each side. You can see it's slightly a little bit bolder. And then in F3, you click Reshape. We're going to reshape this curve. Let's say I'm using one of each end to click on the handle. Okay, I'm clicking here, click, and then you can just bring it anywhere you want, and then you can see another handle here. You can click on the handle and then make the curve. You cannot click on the line because what you can reshape is the handle. So click on these handles to change the shape. Okay, so this is how to change the shape. And then if you think you get the right handles, you got the right shape already, let's say, oh, the curve is enough. You can just turn the handles off. You go to display and then turn the handles off. Don't worry, if you want to reshape it some other time later, you can just click display again and show the handles again. Okay, it will appear as initial before. You can click turn off the handles to turn it off and see the lines that is not handles. Okay, the real line of the curve. Okay, and then in some cases, let's say I'm going to add the lines, let's say like this. And then I want to develop some points, let's say to put the darts. I'm using this. So this will go from here, but I don't want to put the darts here. I want to put the darts this way. How do I do this? How do I change the directions? I'm changing the directions right now, but you need to know how I change the directions. Let's say your first direction is this way, going downwards, but you don't want to put any dart in this way. So what you need to do is you press the space bar to change the direction. I'm pressing the space bar to change the direction of the point. So in this case, let's say I want to put over here. Let's say I want to put 5 centimeter around here. You can just downward arrow again and then put 5 and then enter. And then what can you do? It's stuck. And then you can just click one time anywhere. Why it's stuck? Because it want to make sure whether you position correctly. And oh, it's correct here. Then you can just click one time anywhere. Click finish. Okay, so that's how you want to change the directions of the develop points or yeah, develop points to make the darts or to make some notch. Okay, you can change the direction that way using the space bar. Where is the space bar? This is the space bar. Okay, space bar. You can use the space bar to change the direction of the line of sorry, of the points you want to put. Okay, now I can save it. Continue. Okay, and with this function, you can continue until your skirt block finished. So I'm just introducing you guys to until here for our first week meeting. I want you to familiarize yourself with this work, with how this works. Okay, I want you to be familiar first with the software. So you're using a very limited amount of tools for the first week, and you need to try all the introduced tools today to make the skirt block. And actually, you can use all the introduced tools uh, from today's meeting to make your skirt block. Okay, so please work on your skirt block first. And if you have finished, let's say you have finished your skirt block, you can continue to make the bodice block and the sleeve block for your assignment. So here I also have prepared the assignment. It's the homework. You can continue the skirt block and make the bodice block and sleeve block. Okay, you don't have to worry if you cannot finish everything within today, because this homework is all we have to do it in the class. Okay, there is no homework that you take home, that you need to take home, no, but you need to do everything in the class. I will just stop sharing first. Okay. So I think that's it for today. Okay. I want you to continue your skirt block until it's finished. And if you have question, please reach me through WhatsApp because it's faster. And if you guys have the same questions as your friend, you can also see or review my answer from the group. Okay. Thank you all. Please keep working.